Well, congratulations once again for making it to the end of the first section. You've gone from not knowing how a website is put together at all to being able to put together pages containing forms, iframes, tables, images, HTML entities, and a lot more. So well done. We're going to put that into practice now by essentially creating a web page that contains everything that we've done so far. So I've got an example page that you can copy if you like, but really I want you to go crazy and create anything you like. It could be a homepage about your family, your favorite sport, whatever it might be. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more fun. You choose your topic. If you want a little bit of inspiration though, I'll show you what I'm going to be making. And I've got this over here, and you can actually get the code for it yourself in completewebdevelopercourse.com/2/htmlchallenge.html. So just stretching that out, you can see I've got a nice image here of the globe. I've got an unordered list, a link, and a table down there, ordered list, and then a very tiny bit of a form there just to include it, and also a YouTube video aligned to the right over there. So that uses pretty much everything we've covered so far. So what I'm going to do is challenge you to create something like this. You can create exactly this page if you like, or you can come up with your own design and content. Best of luck. When you have done it, it'd be great if you uploaded it to your FTP space and then shared a link so that I can take a look and congratulate you personally. Don't forget to use all the good HTML habits that you've learned so far. So that's nice indenting, spacing out your code, etc. I hope you enjoy this challenge. Go for it. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to close that down and start building our web page from scratch. So this is how I would have done it. Of course, as with any coding challenge, there are many ways to build a web page or solve a problem. You did it differently, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to start by going to example.com and just using example.com and just viewing the source as we did. So control clicking or right clicking, view page source. And then I'm just going to copy the whole of that source code and use that as my starting point. And that just makes sure that I get the doc type and everything else in there without having to type it myself. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be right. So don't be afraid to do that when you're building sites. Obviously don't copy wholesale other sites, but free to use them as starting points so that you're not typing out the same code every time. Now I'm just going to get everything nicely indented. And there we go. So now we've got our basic bit of content. Mine, of course, is about the world we live in, or Earth. So I'll call it the good old Hello World. So we'll do a quick refresh. Yep, so we've got no content there at all, but we've got a title of Hello World. All right, so I'm going to start with a nice big header. So we'll use H1 and we'll have a nice big Hello World at the top. And you'll notice that as I go through the process of building the page, I'll refresh and just check that it looks okay a lot more than you might think. So even though we've just got a very basic bit of code there, it's always good to see that your new line of code hasn't broken anything or done anything unexpected. Okay, so now I'm going to pop in a subtitle, so H2. A few facts about the world we live in. No full stop, I think. There we go. Very nice. Now I want a nice picture of the Earth. So I'm going to go to Wikipedia and search for Earth, and there we go. Lovely big picture there. And as we've done before, I'm going to save the image as, and I'm going to save it in my HTML folder. I'll just call it Earth. There we go. So this is a JPEG rather than a PNG, so JPG is the extension. I'll remember that, but it should get auto-predicted by my text editor anyway. Okay, so let's pop in our image. Nice and simple. Image src for source, and earth.jpg gets predicted there. Brilliant. Let's have a look. There we go. Ooh, a little bit large, I think. So let's make it a little bit smaller. So we can adjust that with the width, as we saw in the image section, and I'll try a width of 100. See how that looks. Oh, a little bit small. Try maybe 400. Okay, that's about right. Of course, we're not necessarily looking for great style here, but it's not hugely big, but I can still see the detail of our planet there. All right, now I want to get a bit of information about the Earth. So I'm going to Google Earth facts. There we go. Oh, that first one, spacefacts.com. That looks great. Lovely. All right, so I'm just going to use this paragraph of content there. Now, this bit, of course, you wouldn't do for any live site that you are working with, but that's fine for a bit of practice. But definitely, if you're making a site that you're going to use publicly, then make your own content. Okay, let's have a look. Very nice. So now I want to have something with an unordered list. So this bit of information looks good. So I'm going to copy that. And if I keep the moon in there as well, then that will give me the opportunity to add a link. So I'll copy that over. Now this is a new section, so I'm going to separate it from everything else with a horizontal rule. There we go. And now I'll paste in my new data. And actually, just to keep things simple, I'll only have 3 of them. And I want an unordered list. So that's a UL. And each of these is going to be a list item. So let's pop that at the beginning and end of those and indent them so that the code looks really nice. Great, let's just check. There we go, I'm liking that. Now let's add in our link for the moon. Now it goes to that URL at the bottom of the screen there, spacefacts.com/themoon. So I'm going to copy the link address. So I control clicked or right click and copy that. And then to add an anchor or link, I use an A tag with an href of what I just copied. And then we'll have the text, the moon, and then we'll close the A tag. Let's have a look, see if that's worked. Looks good. Have a click. Brilliant. Links to the page about the moon. Fabulous. Now I'd like to have a bit of practice putting in an ordered list. So what I'll do is I'll copy the code for an unordered list and just change it to an ordered list. And to separate that out from the previous list, I'll add another horizontal rule. Now obviously we need some new bits of information there. So let's have a look. Facts about the Earth. Ah, fantastic. So let's make these. To make them numerical data, we'll have an H3, a little heading, saying top 3 facts about the Earth. There we go. And then I'm just going to copy these in. The Earth's rotation is apparently gradually slowing. Interesting stuff. The Earth was once believed to be the center of the universe. Have that as fact number 2. And the Earth has a powerful magnetic field. So we'll get rid of the link there because we don't need it anymore. Brilliant. Let's have a look. Fabulous. That looks great. I think now we need a little header above the previous list though to kind of match that out. So let's put an H3 and we'll just call that About the Earth. Okay, great. Storming through. So now I'd like to add a table. So let's separate out the section again. And I'd like to have an opportunity to use HTML entity. So let's compare the radius and temperature of 2 other planets, just for fun. So we'll add in our table. And we'll have our table header. And within our table head, we'll have a table row. And within our table row, we'll have a th, which is going to be the name of the planet. And then another th for the radius of the planet. And another th for the average temperature. Okay, let's just have a quick look. Yep, it's looking good. I think I might just add in a line break to make average temperature go over 2 lines. All right. So after the table head comes the table body. And within the table body we have table rows, and within those we have table data or table cells. So we'll start with Mars. So we'll need to get the radius of Mars. I think we can get this from our Space Facts website. So if we just scroll down, here we go, got some Mars facts here. So hopefully that'll tell us the radius and temperature of Mars. Okay, it's giving us the diameter there. A little bit of maths for you. The radius is half the diameter. So I'm going to divide that by 2, so 3,400. And we'll round it up 3. That's 3,403 kilometers. And then average temperature. Okay, shall we find the average of -87 and -5? We'll add them together and you get -92. Halve that and you get -46. So that's not exactly the average temperature, halfway between the maximum and the minimum, but it'll do for our purposes. So the tricky bit is we then want a degree sign. So let's search for HTML entity degree symbol. That should tell us what we want. Ah, there we go. Makes sense. And deg. That's another quick hint for you. If you get the Google search term accurate enough, then quite often you won't need to leave Google at all for your result, and you can just take it from the Google extract from that page. So let's put in and deg, and then a C. All right, let's take a look. Mars, 3,403 kilometers and -46 degrees C. Fabulous. I think we'll just add one more row to our table. I'll do that just by copying and pasting. So let's do the same for Venus. So we'll scroll down to get our facts. Got some Venus facts there. So the diameter is 12,104. So we want the radius, so we'll halve it. So 6,052. Let's put the comma in the right place. And then it's only giving us a single temperature there, so we'll take that as the average, 462 degrees C. Fabulous, let's take a look. Brilliant. There we go. Finally then, we want to integrate a form into our table. So let's have another HR horizontal rule to separate them out, and then we'll add in a very, very quick form, which in fact is only going to have a button in it. So we'll have want to know more, question mark, and then a button, remember, is input with a type of submit. And we'll put that inside paragraph tags as well. Okay, let's have a look. So that's great. Submit though doesn't really make sense. So let's change the wording using value equals and then click here. Let's have a look. Now this is all well and good, but if we actually click there, then nothing happens because the page just refreshes. So what I'll do is I'll give you a little bit of a reward for making it all the way to the end of this tutorial, and I'll teach you one more thing, how to get your form to submit to a particular page. And you do that using the action attribute, just like that. And then inside action, you put the URL of the page that you want the form to submit to. So let's say we want to go back to the Earth page, Earth facts. Then we just copy that, Control C or Command C, and Control V or Command V to paste it in there. And now, when we click on the button, it will submit the form. Not that there's any particularly useful information in the form, but it will submit it to that URL, which just has the effect of redirecting that to the SpaceFacts page. Brilliant. So almost there. The only thing that I want to add to this is an iframe with a YouTube URL of Earth rotating. So let's do a quick search for YouTube Earth rotating. There we go. That top one looks good. In this view of Earth from space. We don't need the sound, I don't think, but wonderful. That looks great. So let's click on share, embed, and then just copy that. And initially we'll put this underneath. And there it is, wonderful. But in the example that I showed you, we had the video on the right at the top. So let's add that in. We can actually add that in the same way that we aligned the image earlier by doing align equals and then right. And that will align the iframe to the right of the page, but it will still be at the bottom. So if I want to align it to the right at the top, I need to just cut it, so Command X or Control X, and then put it right at the top here, even above the H1. And then let's have a look. If we then drag it out, it's now aligned to the right. Fabulous. So it's not the best looking web page ever, but it contains a lot of the HTML elements that we've seen, and hopefully it's at least a good step up of what you could have done at the beginning of this section. So once again, congratulations on getting this far. Please do show me your projects, and I look forward to helping you make your websites look a lot prettier using CSS in the next section.